Oh, breaking news.
In game real time, it's hard to make that bang bang call 100%. Hello everyone and welcome to another exciting episode of Saturday Sliders. Today we're diving into the big question. Can the Braves bounce back from their rough start or are they stuck in the mud? We've got that's our curtain call pick of the week coming on your way. I'm Almar and as always I've got our mother right next to me. So buckle up because it's time to talk baseball.
Well, let's get right into it. We have had a whole week of baseball.
Around the bases.
Our first topic of the day, Omar, what is the biggest surprise to the start of the season? The Dodgers going 8-0 and then bouncing back after their first loss, coming to a 9-1 in the season, or 1-8 Atlanta Braves. What is the biggest surprise?
Alright, so the Dodgers winning a boatload of games. Shocking, Armando. I know, right up there with water being wet and Shohei Ohtani being good at baseball. That lineup is like a cheat code. Mookie, Freddie, Ohtani. Just to name a few, it's basically an all-star team with better uniforms. But let's talk about the real curveball, Armando. The Braves sitting at a spicy 1-8 to start the year. That's not just a slow start, that's a full-on nap. The worst part of this, Armando, is we picked them to make the playoffs. So, so now we, so now we look like we made those picks after a couple too many of hot dogs at spring training. So, I mean,
Right.
no MLB team has ever bounced back from a 0-7 start to make the playoffs. It's not impossible, but it's like trying to win a marathon after forgetting to bring your shoes. Like we said last week, digging out of that kind of a hole is brutal, Armando. It's early, but the Braves better start playing like the team we thought they were. Or we'll be revisiting our preseason predictions with the sad violin playing in the background, Armando.
Yes. Well, to me, I'm going the opposite way. The biggest surprise is actually the Dodgers. Uh, we might be looking at historical uh, team right here. We're always talking about the 1927 Yankees and that how pretty much everybody was a Hall of Famer, right? But we might be seeing something special. Last year, the Dodgers won in the postseason, the World Series, with not really having a dominant pitching staff. Like everybody was injured, but they were able to win, and now they're winning, not even hitting the long ball like the last year they hit a lot of home runs and they were hitting, but now actually for as a team they're batting like under 250, but they're winning. And to me that is actually very impressive. You know, you normally like in the first 2 weeks everybody's around the 500 mark, right? Like it's kind of like getting the rust of the because a lot of players don't even play full time in the spring training, like and so like to come out of the bat this hot, it just shows you how loaded they are. And we keep talking about how loaded they are, but we might be seeing something special uh, in the history books right here. And and for the Braves, well, I did say they were gonna have a slow start to the first half, but I didn't think it was gonna be this bad. Let's not forget they started the season against the Padres and the Dodgers, the first two series, right? That's hard on any team. But losing to the Marlins is kind of like, well, okay, that's a little, that's a little. I didn't expect that. We'll see if they can bounce back. If they can win the series this against the Marlins. But like, if they lose this, it's pretty much panic in Atlanta.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree with you. I don't despise the Dodgers. It's just the more shocking to me is how bad the Braves started. And
Right.
even with the tough schedule, you have to you have to you have to somehow find a way to win some games even with the tough schedule.
Well, like let's not forget, like the Atlanta's been losing close games. It's not like they're being blown or embarrassed. They're competitive, but they're just losing games, right? So it's not. It's especially this is not the where we were expecting out of Atlanta, right? So, but anyways, in our second topic, it might be hand in hand, but all-star outfielder Profar has been suspended for 80 games for testing positive for illegal substance. This goes after a breakout year for Profar with the San Diego Padres, and he gets rewarded with a 3-year contract, 42 million. What's your opinion on this topic?
Yeah, this is definitely one of those gut punch headlines. So far, finally put together a strong start, like you mentioned, consistent season with the Padres. Something people have been waiting on since his top prospect days with the Rangers. And just when it looked like he turned the corner and found a good fit in Atlanta, boom, there goes the suspension for illegal substance. It's brutal timing for both him and the Braves, especially since he was supposed to be the stabilizing piece in their lineup. And let's not forget here, Armando, it's not just the regular season games that he's missing, it's plus the playoffs. So if the Braves even get there, even get there, that's it. Starting the year 1-8 already had fans hitting the panic button, and now the throws gasoline on the fire. It's one thing to have a cold stretch. It's another when a key addition is suddenly off the field for 2/3 of the season. Between the rough start and this profile news, Braves fans might need a good therapy session before May. So we're not making fun of the suspension, we're not making fun of the Braves, but this is a tough headline news for Braves and Profile.
Yeah, this is very it's disappointing because last year, even on this podcast, I was saying like Profar is an all star, and he made the all star team, right? But like he came out of nowhere. He was actually at one point he was actually carrying the Padres lineup last year. You know, like with their Tatis and Machado, like he was the top hitters for the Padres, and a veteran, 31-year-old, just trying to find his way into the major league. He gets rewarded and he gets things. So it's surprising, but it's disappointing at the same time. He was very outspoken last year because he was having a breakout season last year. He did have a breakout season, and he got tested 9 times in the season last year. That's way too many for one player. And he was outspoken. Why am I being tested out? And now he gets caught. So he's denying it. He's saying like he's never cheated the game, but he takes full responsibility. So I'm not really sure what to make on that. But it is.
Yeah, yeah,
Go ahead.
both players who get tested positive anyway denies this. They always say that they're not sure how it got there, but you have trainers now, and you have like the good you have doctors that actually prescribe you this. How can you miss this?
Yeah,
It's just an
true, true.
excuse now. So what you put in your body, you should know by now what you're doing to your body. So I'm not buying it, but hopefully Pro Far can come back and be the player that he was with the Padres. No PEDs. Maybe it's true that he didn't know, but it's out there already. He's suspended. So we'll just let's just hope for the best for Pro Far and the Braves.
Right. So this actually reminds me of Milky Cabrera with former Yankees player, Chicago White Sox, right? So and he had one thing, half a season with the Giants. He was not the star in the Yankees, but when he left the Yankees and he put a good season like together with the Giants, and then he gets rewarded with a massive contract with the White Sox, and he gets caught, right? So it's disappointing. It kind of reminds me of that. So all right, with another breaking news this week that made headlines. we had a lot of extensions of young players. Kata Marte, Christian Campbell, and Merrill from the San Diego Padres all get an extension 6 to 8 years for most of those players. What does this say with this organizations signing their young stars to long-term contracts, and what does this say to those stars players?
Absolutely, Armando. This is the blueprint for smart roster building. Locking up your core guys early by buying out their arbitration and free agency years. We've talked about this with
Yes.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and most of the upcoming free agents, right? Gives the team cost certainty and avoids the bidding wars later on. With how inflated the free agent market is getting, trying to resign your own talent after they've hit their peak. It's like trying to win an eBay auction with dial-up internet, right? So you're always going to lose out someone with willing to spend more. So getting these deals done early is a win for the front office. And honestly, I respect the players who are taking that guaranteed money now. So Kettle Marte, like you said, Jackson Merrill, and Christian Campbell, they're betting on long-term stability over short-term risk, and that's mature move. Baseball is a game of crazy hype and brutal slumps. One day you're the centerpiece of the lineup, and the next you're chasing breaking balls in the triple A. So if a team believes in you and is offering you a deal and sets you and your family up for life, you sign that thing with a smile, right, Armando?
Yeah, that is true. Like, first of all, this is not the first time, right? We've seen this with Mike Trout, Harper, Tatis. When when an organization sees a generation player, I'm not saying that those other players are generation talent, but when they see a stability there for 10 years in one position, it's actually beneficial for the organization to sign them long terms, right? So,
Yeah,
but it is
Bobby
kind
Witt
of
is one of them, right?
yes.
Bobby
But
Witt is one of them.
yes, Bobby Witt he signed last year, right? So he's in a long time. Um, but it's kind of like it is pretty. I think the one shocking is well for Jackson Murrow, he was running up for Rookie of the Year behind Paul Skeens, right? So like, he had one full season with in the majors, right? So like so they saw enough to sign him long term. But for Christian Campbell, like he's he's a top six pipeline in the major league rankings, right? So he hasn't played that much, but they saw enough in the spring training to give him this contract. He's a second baseman. He's like I said, he's one of the major league's top prospects. So, but this one's 6 year contract, 6 years, 60 million. That's a little shocking to me. So, but for Marte, that is not a surprising to me. Marte, he's one of the best hitters. He's one of the best slugger hitters in the league, right behind Aaron Judge. Um, he's been in the last 3 years now. He's been in the top three um, for valuable player, most valuable player in those years. So it's smart for the D-backs to sign him. So he's a star. So
Yeah, Ketel Martin's contract is a bargain for the D-back. So,
oh yeah. So
yeah,
but he
good
was
on the
already
D.
signed. He was already signed like for a long term contract, but they extended him to another 6 years, signing him to 2034. So good for him. But he's the best second baseman in the league. So I'm happy for him. Well, that is it for Around the Bases with this week's latest news. If you like this content, please subscribe, like, and follow. It will help our baseball channel content. Well, let's get into our first curtain call of the season, where we highlight some of the top performance of the week. Armar, let's get right into it.
Curtain calls.
For our for My curtain call player of the week, and I'm going with Kyle Tucker from the Chicago Cubs. Tucker and the Chicago Cubs are actually are started the season really good. They're 7-4 on the season. Tucker is batting a 302, 4 home runs with 12 RBIs. He's second in the RBIs category behind Aaron Judge. He's they're calling him the silent assassin, but he's actually off to a great start, and he is my curtain call of the week.
Wow, you change up on me again, Armando. How I hate. Well, good pick on Charlton Tower. I was actually looking at him for my player position player of the week. Kyle Tucker is carrying this Chicago Cubs lineup right now. Like I said, he's been hitting bombs, and I believe he has like 11 RBIs. When I was looking at him, it's like when I saw it, it's like 8 RB almost more half of the RBI in Chicago Kyle Tucker has it.
Yeah,
So
he does
good
actually.
pick
So
on good pick on Kyle Tucker again.
well,
He picked up on me.
let's not forget the Chicago Cubs made they played in Sacramento this week at the A's home opener, and the Cubs they treated the A's like a minor league club, so and field. So it could be the numbers could be a little decisive.
Well, that
Decisive.
might have added to like Kyle Tucker's home run
Yeah,
and RBI.
exactly.
It's a smaller ballpark, right? But I'm
Exactly.
not taking
So
away anything
no,
from
I'm
Kyle
not.
Tucker. Kyle
I'm just
Tucker,
giving a dig on the
yeah.
A's.
Kyle Tucker has been doing this for years now. So, but yeah, good good job on the A's.
Yes.
Again, that's a good pick on Kyle Tucker, Armando. For my current call position player of the week, I've got to give it to my preseason AL MVP pick, Aaron Judge. The guy's doing everything short of selling hot dogs at Keggy Stadium. He lodged 2 homers with 3 RBIs this past week, that including today's game, and he's been the engine behind the Yankees' hot start. Whether it's clutch hits or just straight up smashing, Judge is reminding everyone exactly why he's one of the most feared hitters in the game. On the season, he's already up to 6 home runs, 17 RBIs, and is batting over 300. That's just elite power. That's not just elite power, Armando. That's complete hitter. We don't see this combo often anymore. A guy who can crush the baseball out of the park while still hitting for average. Judge is, pro- Judge is proving he's more than just a home run threat. He's a well-rounded offensive monster, and if he keeps this pace up, the MVP chatter won't just be talk. It'll be reality again, Armando.
Yeah, he could have the MVP wrapped up by the All Star. Like that's how good he's playing this season, right? So, um, no, and you know what? The biggest comment. Well, the comment that he made this week that I love. He said with regarding the torpedo bats. He said I don't need him. I don't need those bats. I can hit. So I love it. So a good pick with your curtain call. I was actually looking at him too as well. But I try to minimize the Yankees and Dodgers talk. So all right, for my curtain call pitcher of the week, I am going with Nathan Ovaldi. He's having a great season so far. He's in 2 starts. He has 17 Ks. He pitched a complete game, and his last outing against the Reds, 8 Ks in that game. Impressive. He has a 1.20 ERA. He's pitching today on Sunday. We'll see what he has for his third start of the game of the season.
Armando over here stealing again my pick like it's a Black Friday deal. Uvalde, Uvalde throwing a mud up this week. I mean, complete game under 100 pitches, Armando. We
Love it.
barely see that
Love
now.
it.
We barely see that now. So I was going to pick him, but I guess I'll just take credit for the greatness anyway, Armando.
Yeah, and you said maybe when we were picking our picks this week. You said maybe. I was like, well, maybe it's not a yes. I gotta get it. I jumped on that, Nathan. But anyways, the first place Texas Rangers, and one of the reasons why is they're having great starting pitchers. Him and other pitchers on the staff, they're having a great season, 7-2 on the season, and so this team seems like they're healthy right now. And who is your critical pitcher of the week?
All right. Again, great pick there, Armando, for Data Uvalde for your curtain call pitcher of the week. For my curtain call pitcher of the week, I'm rolling with Soda Imanaga. The sophomore sensation out of the fan is setting in like he's been in the big league for years now, Armando. He's not just adjusting, he's dominating. And this week, he played a big role in stopping one of the hottest teams in baseball, handing the Red Hot Padres a rare loss, and showing why he's quickly becoming a key piece in the rotation. Imanaga went 7 and 2/3 innings on Friday, allowing just one run on 4 hits and striking out four. That's a clinic in efficiency and command. He didn't need to overpower hitters, he just outsmarted them, working the zone and keeping San Diego off balance all night. A performance like that not only stops the team's momentum, message. It also sends a message. Imanaga is here and he's not just a sophomore story, he is the real deal now, Armando.
No, I love this pick. Good job on this pick. I love him, Mamaga. He's quiet. He doesn't. He's taking a step back from the foreign players. The other players are getting more attention than him. He's just a quiet guy, and he's just like he goes out there and dominates. I Can you imagine if you would have chosen like a top market like New York or L.A. Like he would have had more publicity and more attention. But he does his job, and it's impressive to see, and I like that he has kind of like a throwback. He's kind of like a hybrid from a throwback and a new pitcher because he has like 7 pitches on him to just throw at any time and in command. So I love the pick. Good job.
Yeah, he already faced two golden lineups. He
Yeah.
opened the Tokyo series against the Dodgers and he faced the Padres and he looked good on both. So he's
Yeah.
becoming the real deal now.
The only thing is like on the first two starts, he only went 5 innings on each start. So it's kind of like there kind of seems like, and I talked about it a couple last week, like starting pitchers only going 5 innings, like, but he went 7 innings this last start. So um, I would love to see from him more of a 7 innings, 8 innings kind of pitcher, and he will be in consideration for Cy Young Award if he pitches 7 to 8 with that
Yeah,
command and that strikeouts.
5 innings is the quality start now, Armando.
Yes, long relievers. They're just long relievers. So, but I love it. Good job. For my curtain call team of the week, I am going with the surprising team, the San Francisco Giants. I am going with them. No one expected this season. Not even yours truly. Like Omar says, I was a downer last week on the Giants, but they are 7-1 on the season. They're hard. They're red hot. They're winning. They're scoring runs. They're winning in close games. Um, yeah, they started the season in the road facing the Reds, and they then go to Houston and sweep the season, and there was beating the garbage cans in Houston 3 times for a sweep, so that's really great. And then they come home and they face a top pitching lineup from the Mariners, and they are so far they're 2-0, 2-0 against the Mariners, and they're going for the sweep tonight.
All right, fine, Armando. I'll give you this pick. Giants are stinking, and honestly, I hope they keep it going because my Jays are making me want to throw my phone in the pool. So here's to hoping the Giants stay hot, or I might need to switch over to you. So, but good pick. Like we mentioned last week, Armando, you have to keep up with the Dodgers and the Padres in the NL West. If to keep winning, you have to win your series, 2 games to 1, or even keep the series if you have a chance. Like you mentioned, they have a chance to keep the series here against the Seattle Mariners. If w- even if you're facing garbage teams, if you have a chance to sweep them, you sweep them because it all adds up at the end of the year. Those wins, right?
Yeah, like it's like I said, no one's. This is the start. This is the type of start that every team looks for, right? And especially we talked about the National League West. You can't afford to slow or subpar like it. And so far we're seeing it. 3 teams, even 4 teams, they came out of the gates running, sprinting. And if you start losing games, you're digging yourself in a quick hole already in that division. So, quick question, Omar, before your pick of the week, what is most likely to happen? The National League West beats up on other teams, and we have potential to have 3 teams um, going into the postseason, or those 4 teams in the National Leagues that were just beat each other up, and only 1 or 2 come out into the postseason.
I can actually see three teams from the NL West right now by the looks of the standing. I can easily see the NL West being in the playoffs rather than them beating each other. Again, they haven't faced each other, so the litmus test is not there yet. So we'll see how everyone does within the division, and then we'll talk about it. But by the looks of it, I can envision three teams from the NL West making the playoffs, and it'll be a dogfight. It's fun, but it'll be a
Yes.
dogfight for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's gonna be a dogfight, but it's only 10 days into baseball, right? But we can only talk what we see so far, right? And so far, what we're seeing, this is arguably the best division in baseball right now.
Yeah, there's no denying now. NL West. Well, except the Rockies, right? So, but
Yeah. Oh, do they still play in the division?
yeah, four teams above 500, and it's tough. It's tough, but I like that San Francisco Giants are winning it now, so it keeps one of us happy.
Yes.
For my curtain call team of the week, I'm giving it to the Philadelphia Phillies off to a 6-2 start. They made an early statement by handing the Dodgers their first loss of the season, a big time win against a powerhouse club. This Phillies team is showing balance on both sides of the ball, with the rotation delivering quality starts and the lineup doing serious damage. It's that blend of pitching depth and offensive firepower that's setting them apart early. What's especially impressive is how composed they look. The bats are doing their job. They're doing their thing, but the supporting cast stepping up. That's really elevating them. And when the pitching staff holds down teams like the Dodgers, you know this squad isn't just riding momentum. They're built to last. If they keep this up, Armando, the NL better take notice because the Phillies are just here to compete. They're here to contend. So with how bad the Braves are looking, it looks like Phillies can run away with this division. I'm not sure about the Mets. They're a bit slow right now, but still I can see the Phillies winning the NL East.
Yes, my division winning Phillies. Well, that is it for the curtain calls of the week. Um, Thanks, Omar. That was really fun. Let's get into our Giants and Blue Jays update.
Giants, Blue Jays.
Before I get into the Giants update, I want to give a shout out to Jordan Caballero. I had the privilege to join his podcast, the Jordan Caballero Show. Yeah, it was great catching up with an old friend. And we talked a little bit of baseball. Fortunately, he's one of those A's fans that it was heartbreaking to see the A's move, and but he's considering joining the dark side. So come over to the better side of the bridge and cheer for the Giants. So
Yeah, find him on YouTube, Jordan Caballero. That podcast, that collaboration with Dan Armando was great. It was a great listen. If find him on YouTube, like Armando said, it's a great Jordan Caballero on YouTube.
yeah, sounds great. Yeah. Well, thanks for listening, Omar. Well, let's get into the Giants update of this week. Like I said already, they're off to a great start, and everybody's happy right now. So like the Giants fans, Giants beat writers are fan, the organization. This, like I keep saying it, this is just a busted poultry ball. It's just a different team. They're having this confidence. There seems like they're taking Busted Posey's confidence. Busted Posey was a quiet leader. He just walked, carrying himself with so much confidence, and it's just rubbing off on this team, and you're showing it. And the biggest surprise, every team says when they're in spring training, we're gonna be doing this, we're gonna practice this, but as soon as the spring training is over, they just go back to the old normal selves. But this team said we're gonna be more aggressive. We're gonna be hitting situational hitting. We're gonna be aggressive on the bases. We're going to be dominating the bullpen, and guess what? That's exactly what they're doing, and good for them. Like, it's exciting to see. One of the biggest things that stands out to not just the 7-1 starts that stands out. One of the biggest standouts so far in the season is they only have one error. They were the last team in the majors to create one error, and that was just yesterday. And this is shocking because the last 3 years they were the worst team fielding wise. The starting pitcher, the pitchers, the pitching staff had no faith in their defense. They had the pressure that they had to strike out everybody. They could not put the ball on the ground. But this year, they're not. The pitching staff has the confidence on the defense, and it's showing. They're putting the ball in place. I mean, so especially for a lot of like pitchers like Logan Webb and Justin Verlander, they just there's going to be a lot of ground balls, and that's what and they're trusting their defense. So good for them. One of the two standouts, Ramos. Last year he had a breakout season. He was an all-star. Giants are counting on him to not just be a one-year wonder, but to repeat it. And so far, he picked up from last year. He has 4 home runs. He leads the team on RBIs. He's coming up with clutch hits, and he just seems to keep getting better and better. Like he's not slowing down. He might be another all-star potential. And maybe even gold glove. So that's the standard. That's the standard that he's setting for himself, and the Giants are saying he has gold glove potential, and he can repeat it again. Another one is Wilmer Flores, veteran Wilmer Flores. He the last 2 seasons he's been dealing with injuries. His knees was not there. His hips were not there. The Giants had a decision to make. Do we just cut him? He's an aging better player. It's just might as well just cut him and not deal with the with the injuries. So but the Giants brought him back and saying like no, like either the question was, is this father time, or is this just not injuries holding him back? And the Giants brought him back and saying, we believe that your struggles are injury related. You have not lost, and guess what? He's being rewarded. The Giants are being rewarded. He is tied with Wilmer Flores with RBIs and in home runs, and he's not playing. He's DHing. He's not playing the field a lot, but he's DHing and or pinch hitting. And so far, Bob Melvin is pushing all the right cards with Wilmer Flores so far. So and that's great. And another note is the bullpen. The bullpen is lights out right now. So with Camilo Duvall returning to his all-star self, and Ryan Walker was the closer role, and Tyler in the eighth inning. This is a dominant 1-2-3 punch to close out a game.
Yeah,
I believe that is pretty much the Giants update right now. Like it's just great starting pitches and great bullpen.
yeah, the guys are taking Armando, and not just because they're hitting homers left and right. They're making the NL West look like a reality show right now, and I'm here for it. Seriously, at this
Mhm.
rate, the guys might just stop the whole division, and we might have to start taking them seriously instead of just assuming that they're the team that gets lost in the top four, right? They're out here hitting bombs like they've got something to prove. Maybe they do.
Yeah, like it's
Maybe they do. So I like it. And like we mentioned earlier, this NL West will be a dogfight, but good that not the Dodgers, it's not a Dodgers podcast. The Giants are winning right now, right?
Yeah, I want to say another thing. This team keeps getting compared to, like I said earlier in the latest episodes of, I said that this team is being compared to the '85 Giants, right? Like it's the '85 Giants were the worst uh, team in franchise history, right? And the current roster, the last three seasons has been one of the worst seasons in three, like combined three seasons, right? But the following year, 1986, it was a mixture of young talent and veteran players. And right now, the same thing is a mixture of young talent and veteran players, and no one really expected them to be here. And obviously it's too early, but it seems like there's magic in the room with the Giants right now, and they're saying like, yeah, we have something to prove, and let's not don't forget about us. Yes, the Padres and the Dodgers and the D-backs are loaded, but Giants. Let's not forget about the Giants. They're still in the conversation.
Yeah, true. And I like it, Armando. Now you're happier than last week.
Yeah, that's right.
So
It's still early, right? It's only, but there seems to be magic in the room. That's
yeah, I know it's early, but the winning ways, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. So
yeah.
yeah, thanks for that guys update, Armando, and welcome to your Blue Jays update. Armando, all right, it's only been 9 games, and the Blue Jays fans are already one bad at bat away from tossing their TVs out the window after a solid 5-2 home stand that had people feeling cautiously optimistic. The Jays strolled into New York for the best home opener and promptly froze like a frozen bag of tea. They got shut out 5-0 on Friday, and then followed that gem up by blowing a 2-0 crisp basket lead late in the eighth yesterday on Saturday night, only to get walked off in the ninth. To the collective grown across Canada, now we could blame manager Judge Snyder for once again managing the bullpen or mismanaging the bullpen like he's playing darts blindfolded. But let's be real, Armando. This offense is the real villain here. The Jays are getting runners on, but apparently forgot what hitting with runners in scoring position actually looks like. Um, and we can talk power. Just 4 homers on the year, two from Andre Jimenez. So meanwhile, meanwhile Anthony Santander was brought into launch leaders, but right now he's giving us just dirt toast, right? So yes, he's a slow starter. We get that, but we better find that swing too, because even in April, wins matter, Armando. We keep saying this. It's early, but wins still matters, right? So, oh, we need to apologize to George Springer. Let's give him a shout out. Yes, yes, George Springer, who's quietly looking like he found the fountain of youth. Hopefully, his back tightness after that outfield collision last game is nothing serious, because with the way he keeps hitting, they can't afford to lose one of the few guys actually doing damage right now. We talked about Springer during the spring training, Armando. He was terrible during the spring, and we were like talking to Springer fans lower the lineup and not lead off, or maybe a bench person. Now he's silencing all of us right now, which is good for Blue Jays. But yeah, we need to apologize to George Springer right now. And that's it for our Blue Jays update for this week. A lot of throwing games now. So yeah, hopefully it turns around quick.
Yeah, well, let's not forget, like it's the Blue Jays are playing great defense. Um, they're are tied with the Phillies and Giants with the fierce errors on the season, right? So they're top 10, the top five in quality starts, um, and top five in saves. So they're gonna be in it, but it's gonna be a lot of growing pains for the fans, a lot of up and downs emotions, right? So, but it's gonna be competitive, but it's gonna be a lot of up and down.
Yeah, they'll be right up. They'll be right up there with the New England with the Baltimore Orioles. But this AL East stuff too. So yeah,
Yes,
hopefully they can just keep up and give all the Jays fans some hope, right? Some.
it is going to be tough for that division because it seems like the Boston they're back. That Fenway Park seems to be rocking again. They're showing up and they're loud and the team is giving something to cheer for after like 5 years and not being relevant. So
Yeah,
that's going to be a tough.
yeah. After tonight, after last night's game, everyone's like above 500 or at 500 right now.
Yes, it is. Yeah, so
Unlike the
it's
NL West, when you can beat up with the Rockies, you can do that with the AL East team. Every team is found.
yeah, exactly. So, but it's good. Well, that is it for another episode of Saturday Sliders. Until next time.
We'll see you next week.